Hi, welcome to Audiobook Academy. This is a self-paced audiobook. There's no need to keep an eye on things. Just pay attention. Thank you for taking the time to listen. This is a book summary of The Dip. A little book that teaches you when to quit, and when to stick. By Seth Godin. Winners know when it's time to call it a day and move on. Strategic quitting is the topic of The Dip. Long-term success can be summed up as follows: knowing is half the work. Sinkholes occur, but by being aware of them, we can increase our chances of success. As soon as we are able to recognize the sinkholes, we can better prepare for, manage, and exit them. Dipwise requires making difficult decisions, avoiding distraction, and setting our priorities. If you're a goal-oriented overachiever, you've probably encountered a few roadblocks along the way. Most of the time, we are able to overcome these difficulties by remaining determined. The famous Vince Lombardi adage, "Quitters never win, and winners never quit," might serve as an encouraging mantra when we're feeling down. Author Seth Godin, on the other hand, explains why this advice is wrong. There are a lot of winners who give up. When it comes to quitting bad habits, he says that they either quit bad habits or stick with good ones, and they're both brave. We'll briefly discuss life's tips, how they help us rise to the top, and finally, how to strategically quit. So, if you're trying to figure out if the dips you find yourself in are worth your time, effort, and talents, then this is the book for you. The Descent. Progress does not always follow a straight path. Consider the sport of figure skating. The fundamentals of ice skating can be learned in a few trips to the rink. Nevertheless, if we want to get more advanced and learn how to jump, we might encounter the dip. We hit a low point when our initial feelings of ease and euphoria are replaced by the stress and frustration of never-ending workouts. No matter what kind of new endeavor you embark on, the initial stages are always filled with anticipation and hope. We're going to have to deal with the sinkhole eventually, though, because the dip is going to show up. As Godin puts it, the long slog between starting and mastery, this is the long slog. In general, things begin well and then become more challenging and uncomfortable as the cycle progresses. Add to that, the dips we hit can take years to push through, until we finally feel stronger on the other side, as opposed to the honeymoon startup period. There will be dips. Furthermore, some of these features are purposefully included. Built-in dips put a person's willpower and self-control to the test. Even for universities and employers, they serve as a sort of strategic process of elimination. If you want to go to medical school in the United States, you'll have to take the notoriously difficult organic chemistry course in your first year. However, organic chemistry, despite its importance, has a negative impact on a student's overall grade in the medical school curriculum. Having a dip causes students to quit while they're ahead. While it's easy to imagine yourself as a doctor, becoming one isn't. Universities can quickly reduce class sizes to only the most dedicated students by creating a dip early on. Both employers and employees follow the same strategy. Many job applications necessitate applicants to fill out a slew of paperwork and undergo a series of grueling interviews in order to narrow the field of potential candidates. In the face of our greatest challenges, we may be able to take solace in the fact that dips are meant to be difficult. As a result, we will all benefit. We'd be living in a world devoid of excellence if it weren't for life's low points. To be the best, we must strive to be our best, and dips help us do that. Having a wide range of interests and abilities can be both a blessing and a curse. There is a saying that goes something like this: you can do anything, but not everything. Startups, jazz bands, and nonprofits are all possible career paths for many of us. All of these may be worthwhile endeavors, but if we want to achieve greatness, we must focus solely on one of them. Jordan Peterson, a clinical psychologist and author of 12 Rules, advises readers to choose your sacrifice in his book. Why should we limit ourselves to a single field of study? There is no denying that specialization is critical to success. Being the best in the world has unexpected benefits, as Seth Godin explains in his book. For us, superstars are adored in our culture, and we live in a world where the best is rewarded. Vanilla and chocolate ice cream are the most popular flavors in the United States, in case you didn't know. If you're a vanilla fan, you'll be happy to know that your favorite flavor comes out on top. Only about 10% of all ice cream sales are made up of chocolate, while vanilla accounts for nearly 30% of all ice cream sales in the United States. As a result, the best and good are separated by a wide margin. As Godin points out, the rewards for being number one are disproportionate. With Ziffs Law of distribution, a top spot typically reaps 10 times the benefits of being number 10, and 100 times the benefits of being number 100, regardless of the domain. Not just ice cream, This law applies to college applications and resumes as well as record labels and a wide range of other fields of work. There are 2 reasons why it matters if you're the best. People today expect nothing less than the best in a highly competitive global market. Customers and clients are pressed for time and resources, so they only deal with the best. Godin gives the example that if we are diagnosed with cancer, we won't mess around and go to a variety of doctors, we will go straight to the top guy, the person who is ranked best in the world. To help us understand why this is so important, we'll have more customers because we're the best in our chosen market. It's not just that this is a benefit, however. People are willing to pay more for our goods and services if they believe they are the best. That means our premium product or service can command higher prices. According to Seth Godin, being at the top matters because there are only a few places at the top. Being at the top is worth something because of the scarcity. Drops also lead to scarcity. Find a place where your interests and abilities meet and dedicate yourself to making that your primary focus. Don't feel guilty about letting go of anything that doesn't serve your primary goal. How to strategically quit your job. Many of us equate the word quitter with failure. Never give up has been instilled in us since we were young children. However, the ability to give up might be the key to success. Time, energy, and resources are the dip's currency. So, if we want to successfully come out of the slump, we need to make a decision based on how much more we can invest. Being the best can be expensive, and there may be more worthwhile investments available to us elsewhere. Having a sense of where we're at in life can help us decide when to give up and when to keep going. Knowing where we're going and why we're going there can help us decide if the effort is worth it. Consider this: are you in a valley, a cul-de-sac, or perched on a cliff? Cul-de-sac translates to dead end in the French language. When things aren't moving forward and there's no way out. It's a straight line compared to the dip. To avoid getting stuck in a never-ending rut, it may be necessary to take a step back and assess whether what we're doing is actually getting us anywhere. Perhaps we're stuck in a job with no hope of advancement. It's possible that no matter how hard we try, we'll never be able to reconcile our different beliefs and values, and we must move on. When things appear to be going well, but in reality, they are on the verge of falling apart, this is known as the cliff. We don't emerge on the other side of the dip. Unlike the dip, things fall apart, no matter how hard we work, how much we struggle, or how many challenges we face. The project fails, the market ignores us, or we are fired from our current position. Knowing the difference between a dip, a cul-de-sac and a cliff comes in handy in many situations. Decide whether or not to give up. The following questions should be asked before quitting. You should ask yourself, am I panicking? Before anything else. Is that the case? If so, don't give up just yet. When you're in a state of panic, it's extremely dangerous and costly to walk away from a situation. When the pressure is greatest to compromise, to drop out, or settle, your desire to quit should be at its lowest, Godin says. Consider your options before making a decision. Predict when you will stop working and stick to your plan. So don't make a decision until you've finished freaking out. An easy way out is to give up, but that's not the most effective strategy. Quitting can be the most difficult decision, but sometimes it's the only option. What kind of measurable progress am I making? Is the next question to ask. We often find ourselves in situations where quitting would be too painful, so we stay put. Not quitting is much easier than actually quitting. But it's a waste of time to stick with something that doesn't have a chance of progressing. I don't understand why anyone would waste their time on something that isn't worthwhile. What do you think your current location is in light of this? Are you moving forward, stumbling, or worse, falling behind in your current situation? If we are to be successful, we must make some kind of forward progress, even if it is minor. To sum it up, in order to truly succeed, one must be willing to give up on one's dreams on occasion. So don't be afraid to give up quickly, frequently, and without remorse. Keep in mind that the more significant the barrier is, the greater the reward may be if you persevere through it. Don't stop. First and foremost, we must take into account the unique dips that each new market, skill, or venture will demand of us. The other option is to ask ourselves, what will happen if we maintain our focus and power through the current slump? Those who obsess are the ones who succeed. A woodpecker can tap 20 times on 1,000 trees and get nowhere, but stay busy. Godin explains. It's also possible for him to get dinner by tapping 20,000 times on a single tree. In a competitive marketplace, those who persevere through a dip and emerge on the other side are rewarded. May the wisdom and serenity derived from Godin's book help you discern between what's good and what's bad. Thank you for listening in Audiobook Academy. Please don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. See you in next audiobook.